Good morning. Tuesday, July 13th. Happy tip of the Grant Sound Advice coffee cup. I had to think about that for a minute. I forget my own tagline, right? One of my friends on Sunday that I referenced yesterday said she didn't like coffee. After I picked myself up off the floor, she stated that, well, it was more like she didn't like the taste of coffee, but she needed coffee. How can you not like anyhow? So this morning is more about getting started in voiceover. I've done 2 weeks of the space, as it were. You can't go beyond the space. And I commented last week about recording in a quiet studio, and I pointed out two things that happened. A car drove past, and my air conditioner kicked on. Now, I started this morning purposefully, I think about halfway through an air conditioner cycle. It is running right now. Now, I don't know if you can hear it or not. I hope not. I hope it's very quiet. If you have any noise in your environment at all, you probably don't hear it. You may need to put headphones on and crank it up. That's the whole point. Hopefully, it will also kick out at some point, and I will reference that. The space. You got to have a good space. So the last comments on the space are get in the quietest, most sound deadening place in your house. And one way to find that is just walk around and talk to yourself. Not that you wouldn't do that anyhow. Walk around and talk to yourself and see how your ears are hearing the echo. Find the place in your house that has the least amount of echo. That's a great start. And again, I talked about being in a closet with a bunch of clothes in it. That's part of my treatment in this room. It's a spare room and it has a bunch of clothes hanging in it. All that just deadens the sound waves from moving easily through the room. You have a hard room with parallel walls, that sound just has a good old time bouncing around. Think of this. Take a ping pong ball, because I'm sure you all have one laying around. Take a ping pong ball and walk into the room that you're thinking about recording in and throw it at a wall. Now, if that thing takes a bouncity, 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 you have a bad sound room to begin with. There is almost nowhere in this room you could throw a ping pong ball and get more than one bounce. And that's the point. And I just thought of that brilliant thing right there myself just now. So you can take that to the bank because it's great. It's not a bad idea, though. Anyhow, so last night in one of my forums, I saw a new idea called a pillow fort. Now, I talked about a hobo fort last year. In a pillow fort, many people build a PVC pipe frame and hang blankets, packing blankets. They actually have, honest to goodness, real acoustical blankets that look like packing blankets, but they're not. Anyhow, the point there is the guy built one of those, except he hung pillows on it. And I mean, I think he took body pillows, which aren't cheap, but again, it's just sound deadening. Now, my click of the thermostat just clicks, so in about 3 minutes or 2 minutes, the air conditioner will go off. So we'll see if you can tell the difference. It's still running. So a pillow fort might be a solution for you. Again, deaden that sound. Think of the ping pong ball being sound waves. So I saw this cartoon this morning, and here's the biggest problem with voiceover with a lot of us. We like the tech. Oh man, I've got, and you see people all the time, and they set out a string of mic, preamp, processor, computer, digital workstation, which is the recording software, also known as a DAW, digital audio workstation. So if you hear me say DAW and I don't explain it, that's what it is. And we get so concerned about the tech that we forget about the skill or the space. So this is kind of a fun thing. I want to be a voice actor, but what kind of preamp should I buy? Well, easy. Make sure the career is right for you. Can you market? Do you have business skills? All this stuff goes into stuff that happens without the mic. And if you can't do the stuff without the mic, not a good career. Think of it this way. If you wanted to start a landscaping business, would you go buy all the equipment to do air conditioner just went off. Would you go out and buy all the equipment for landscaping and then remember that you don't like humidity, hot weather, and working in the sun? No. Would you want to go to people's houses and talk about landscaping? Do you know anything about landscaping? Would you go learn anything about landscaping, or would you just buy equipment? So again, that's probably one of the greatest things that I see happen to people is that they want to get into the tech immediately before they worry about, do they have business skills? Do they have a space they can record in? Voice acting is not just about getting in front of a microphone and yapping. So that's kind of my advice for this morning. We will kind of go a different direction next week. I think we've talked about the space enough. At least in my mind, we have. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or go to grantsvoice.com and send me an email. Maybe my email is right there at the bottom, voicepro@grantsvoice.com. So if you want to send me an email, I'll be happy to discuss helping you. I think we're going to start next week on coaching a little bit. And who do you know that is really good at what they do that hasn't had some type of coaching as they go through their career? So we're going to talk about that and next steps maybe on some equipment. So have a great Tuesday. That's it for Tech Tuesday, getting started in voiceover, the third installment here. I hope I've helped you consider some of the stuff about voice work. Again, feel free to reach out and we'll get started for you, help you get started. Have a great Tuesday. Have a great rest of the week. See you tomorrow for Potpourri Wednesday. Oh, yeah, and like and subscribe if you don't mind. Share with a friend. Thanks.